Hello everyone, this is my Module 5 presentation on working portfolio of best practices. For the social emotional learning area, I examined how I incorporate this into my classroom and give a few examples. Social emotional learning is the ability to recognize and develop one's self-awareness, self-control, and interpersonal skills. This could include respect, empathy, self-awareness, collaboration, self-motivation, social engagement, identifying problems, analyzing situations, ethical responsibility, and international mindedness. So basically, it's learning how to be a decent human being. It also increases academic success and decreases aggression and anxiety. Some of the examples of social emotional learning strengthened in my art classroom. We use CHAMPS, which is a visual kind of guidance chart on how to appropriately behave in the classroom, when it's appropriate to raise your hand, when it's appropriate to speak out, basically everything as far as behavior. And that's reviewed at the beginning of each semester to refresh the students on it. Expression through each student's artwork. I love to give my students as much freedom as possible in every project that we make so that they can make their artwork their own within the confines of the content that we're studying and express themselves through it. I also use the Ask 3 Then Me. This is a great tool that I've incorporated in my classroom, which it basically means if I've taught the lesson and we're creating and I'm walking around helping students, if another student has a question, they're supposed to ask 3 people around them. If those 3 people are unable to answer the question, then they ask me. This gives me a chance to help more students one-on-one. Most of the time, other students are able to help each other. It gives them a sense of dependency on each other, builds some trust. It has all kinds of benefits to it. We do have student critiques where they share with each other while looking at each other's artwork. They give positive feedback. They ask questions. It's just a great way to have a discussion about what each one of them have created. We also have one-on-one and group expression and discussions. So within lessons and during the creative time, I often sit one-on-one with each student, ask if they have any questions, ask them what they're doing, give them positive feedback, give them suggestions, and just help them through. We also have group discussions as well. We research artists, cultures, and works from all over the world in our classroom. This gives us different cultural exposures. And living in Garden City, we have a huge melting pot of families that come from all over the world. So this allows a lot of connections to be made through those that may be from another country, by studying artworks that come from those countries. Examining and describing how art makes each student feel. Once again, sharing their emotions, giving positive feedback, asking questions, connecting. With social emotional learning, students, schools, parents, workplaces, society, and everyone benefits from it. And my annotation at the bottom. Next part, project-based learning. Project-based learning is designed to engage student-collaborated learning through a process of problem-solving and critical thinking over an extended period of time. I have several lessons throughout the year that adapt the PBL, oh, there's a misspell, PBL process. We have several projects that take more than just one class period. We have some, especially their final projects each semester, that take 3 to 4 weeks to create. So that's the example that I give. One of our main projects that we do each year is a different type of found object sculpture. I change it up each year. But the baseline of the project is to make art from trash. This requires collaborative brainstorming among the students, extensive research and exposure to real-world problems dealing with recycling, trash, overpollution, you name it, we cover it throughout this month-long project. It also requires group work collaboration. And typically I like to pair this project with Aveda products. My wife is a hairstylist at a salon downtown, and their main product is Aveda products, and they have a strong history of using recyclables, promoting recycling with their products, and just have a great campaign about it. So I like to tie that in with it as another real world scenario. Final projects are displayed downtown in the front windows of my wife's salon, and I typically like to have it during Earth Month. It doesn't always line up with that, but that's usually the goal. Once again, my annotation at the bottom. Individualized learning plans. This one I had a little bit of problem with because, well, it says there, I see almost 500 students for 45 minutes each week being an art teacher, so it's hard to create an individual plan for each student of mine like I'd want to. Instead, I tend to focus on those students that often struggle, get frustrated often, or may need that extra guidance. Personalized learning puts the student at the focal point of learning and instruction. It is geared to focus on their individual strengths, weaknesses, improvement, and goals. I participate in the building, monitoring, and adjustment of every student that has individualized learning plans, or IEPs. By collecting and contributing data on each individual's behavior observed in my room each week. I also like to incorporate student choice as much as possible in every lesson and project throughout the year to promote personal student interest and engagement. And my annotation at the bottom. Last one, assessment. I did complete the assessment that was included in this module. After completing the assessment, I found that our school has scored pretty high in this area. Our school does an excellent job in all aspects of individual learning plans, especially our school's coach, counselor, and interventionist. They all collaborate with every staff member, collect an enormous amount of data, execute plans well, and communicate with the best. However, this is only done with about half of the students. These individual plans that I see in place work very well, but they, like me, are focused primarily on those students that struggle, misbehave, or need that extra guidance. I scored our assessment according to what I do see. Not seeing any evidence of individual learning plans for every student within my school, unless I am just not aware of them, and am not being included on the building and monitoring process of them. I have also included a copy of my school's assessment. Annotation at the bottom. Here are my references. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you for watching.